Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hi. I'm doing something with these papers. I did these papers on Thursday's video with my what's it called? Jelly plate. Yeah. And so now I'm going to try and shove them in resin. Okay, so I'm drawing around the heart because the heart is what I'm going to fill in. But this heart is a dodgy heart because it's got a bevelly bit and I don't like it. So I'm putting everything onto my G3 because I love my G3. It cures so fast. This thing's had three layers in total, and it normally would take at least 3 days for that to cure each layer. No, not at all. I've had 3 layers done in a day, and I've been pottering about the house in between doing stuff. So yeah, I hate this word, I really do, but it's a game changer. It really is. I do have a discount code below if you fancy one. I do not say things about machines lightly. If I don't like them, I will tell you. I love that thing. So another machine I also like is the dual head mixer. Saves my hands, and I've had to do 3 lots of this, so you know, if you know you've got bad hands, you know 3 mixes is ouch. So again, fabulous. And now I'm going to start waffling about these machines. I am using a little bit of black paste, and it's from Temu, and squeezing that bottle, oh my god, it hurt. So I wanted it really, really black, but I also want it to be really, really shiny. Now, I have got loads of gold flake, and I've shifted around that much. I can't find the gold I wanted. So this is more of a copper gold. But I do find a little pot of gold as well, gold flakes. I think Tracy sent them me from Mini Scenes GB, I think. And so I shoved that in as well. So gold, both gold. One's copper, one's gold. Yeah, I'm waffling again, I'm sorry. So I do want a lot of gold in here. A lot. Now, could I have put a bit more in? Yeah, probably. But I didn't want too thick a layer of resin on the bottom, because I just want that to be the background. So now I've had to use it's a dental stick with a mirror on the end. But I have nicked the mirror off the end because I need that for something else. As you do, you know. But I put the lid on that before I ended up chucking it everywhere because I know what I'm like. And what I'm going to do is the design that I showed you all on Thursday. I will link it somewhere, either a card or at the end, so you can see how I made the prints. And I have to seal these, but first I've got to figure out how they're going in. Now, there was a reason why I drew a heart on the greaseproof paper. It's so I could actually figure out whereabouts inside the heart the papers are going to go and stick them down. Now, you'll see me press the heart, and it's because I can see it's beveled. And at the end, you'll see that there's a great scoop shape out of the back. But I like it. I wanted to play with it quite a lot. And I am using my torch because I know this mould has had it. It really is no good. I mean, look, that's where I'm trying to do it. And trying to cover it up with the foil. Which is ridiculous, because you do end up seeing it. But there are lots of mistakes in this, but all can be covered. So while I'm letting that cure on the G3, which was 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I can't remember now, and I'm going to make the heart on the inside of the heart I'd already drawn, because I want it to be smaller, so I've got a background of the gold and black. So that's what I'm working from. And now I've got to choose the patterns. Now this is the image that I showed you all, and I need that there so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to pick patterns that are similar to what I'd got on the drawing, and couldn't decide. I couldn't. And then it was like, oh, which one do I want? I was looking for the spotty one, to be fair, and it was a pain in the bottom. So I'm putting it underneath just to see where I need it to be. And I'm going to cut it out and then place it onto the heart and see what else I need to cut off. And yes, I'm probably doing this absolutely apex over tootsies. I don't know. I don't even know where that came from. But I do things the hard way. I always do. I can't help it. It's a very old-fashioned way of doing things, but it works. So now I've got my first piece of what you can call a jigsaw. So I'm going to have several pieces, and I like this one because it's got gold on it already. And again, this is the Klimt style gold period. So I'm basically making artwork in resin, but my own way. So I've got that piece and I'm cutting that piece out. But the worst bit, I think, was trying to figure out where to put the next piece. So, but this one, I just folded it over, drew a line, and then cheated and just cut it. So there might be a little bit of a gap, but again, that's also fine because it's going to get covered up with the girl. The girl you won't see me cutting up and chucking together because, well, you're watching me do this bit. This was the tricky one. I couldn't figure out which one to have in the middle. In fact, I chose the plainest one out of all of them because I knew most of that would be covered, so it wouldn't really matter. But it does look nice. I do like it. And this piece will not be finished today. I've got one more thing to do, and that's the bit that could completely ruin it. I hope not, because I have worked with this quite a while, but it's an idea that just came straight into my head at 4 o'clock one morning, and I was like, yeah, let's try that. Now you can't see the drawing, so I'm just going over the top. And to be fair, I can barely see the drawing. So I'm giving it a good snip round, and this piece should fit perfectly in there. And it does. Voila! I mean, how lucky. See, old-fashioned way, but it still works. So now I'm using the cheap glue that I can't stand just to get rid of it, and I'm using a baker's brush for some reason. I think it was the first thing I could find to put my hands on. And just lining it up, and what I'll do is that'll seal that side, and I'm just piling stuff on top just to get it heavy and weighted down. Now every time I get this out of the G3, I have to touch it just to see if it's tacky, but you can see that great bevel where the resin's not being able to stick to it because it's not flat. But again, it's all good, it's fine. Like I said, there are mistakes, but I'm rectifying them. Now, I'm putting in some Super Sparkle White. That is from Tracy at Ministries GB. It's beautiful, and I don't want too much in it. Just want a hint of a sparkle, because otherwise you can cloud your picture underneath and you won't be able to see it. And I want to see it. So I'm going to put my resin in first, and I'm going to kind of dip my picture in. It's been dried, it's been sealed, and thank you to my members. You are all awesome sauce. The Gertisms, I need to remember to put that. And thank you to you subscribers, new and old, for watching till the end, because that is the most important bit, to be watched till the end. Otherwise YouTube don't pay us. So I'm dipping just to try and stop any bubbles. Yeah, I do babysit this one quite a while. I wish I'd babysat the next layer a little bit longer. But whoops, oh well. Things can be rectified. So I am faffing with this. I'm just scraping the resin over the top. And what's the problem here is that lump that hasn't got resin on. It is just ridiculous. Now, I did catch the sides of this quite a few times and I kept thinking, oh no, I think I've cracked the seal. But I hadn't. It was very, very lucky. So if you notice that I do pull it apart a bit, whew, that's not one of the mistakes. But I could have left that as it was. Well, obviously lined up a bit better, because I think it looks quite nice. Maybe stuck some words over it. I don't know. I quite like it. It's pretty. That would have been great for Valentine's Day. I'm always behind on things. Oh well. So I have to watch this like a hawk, and then I'll put it into the G3 again when I'm sure there's no more bubbles going to pop up. Now, that's where I thought I'd popped it. So I've drew a face using the gap in the card, in the picture. Just with Artex. Oh, gold. No, it weren't. It were just ordinary paint markers. Just simply went through that space and drew it in. And I've cut my patterns. There's 1, 2, 3 patterns there. And then you've got the hair that's plain. And this is just an ordinary varnish this time, because I want it to dry fast. And I also want it to hurry up. Now, I wish I'd used the glue, because this obviously wasn't as dry as I thought it was. It had soaked through the paper, therefore making it damp on the inside. So as I put it in the resin, it caused bubbles. It did. It caused bubbles. But it lines up perfect. Look at that. And I have to wait for it to dry a little. But I use more of the sealer, the varnish, just to go over the top a bit more and make sure it's all nicely stuck down. Again, big mistake. This is what causes me issues. In fact, I have 3 issues. 3 lots of bubbles. One's quite a big one. But I kept stabbing the paper just to try and get rid of any air that was coming up. Yeah, it still happened. So now I've also put some more Super Sparkle White in. Just a tiny bit. Not too much, because I want it to be nice and shimmery. So it does look like it's full of bubbles. It's not. It's just sparkle. It's very pretty. And I just had enough to fill the next layer. And this will have one last layer, which is why I said the bubbles are not that much of an issue. There may be some sanding involved. Do we all like sanding? No. I have a mouse. The mouse will do well. So then it'll have its final top coat when it's been sanded, but there's something else I need to do to that hair before I can do that. And like I said earlier on, that's the bit that's worrying me. I want to do it. I want to see if I can do it. Just don't want to ruin it. But I suppose again the top coat would hide that. So I don't really need to worry so much. We'll see. Anyway, that'll be Tuesday's video, the finishing touch. And I just want to say thank you all for supporting me and watching everything I do. And comments are absolutely fantastic. Your likes, your comments. Any ideas you want me to try, please don't hesitate to comment. They're all good for the algorithm. And I shall leave you with the last bit, which will be showing you putting it into the G3. Oh, actually, no, it won't be, because I have to show you the mess. Well, I call it a mess. So I'm putting it on for 2 hours, which then I pressed the wrong button because I'm an idiot and put it up too high. And then for 140. Now, I don't think it needs to be that hot. I'm going to turn it down a little bit next time. But you can see there's a whacking great bubble at the bottom. There's bubbles on her face, and there's one just above her head, I think. But it is done for now. And it's quite a chunky monkey. It does need some sanding around the edge, but I won't do that till I've finished completely on the edges. It's no point in case I make even more mess. But that, oh, that feels dead nice. I might just leave that. I kept playing with it and I'm like, oh, I like that. Now I get those worry stones. I get why they're even invented. They feel lovely. Well, that one does. I think it's a nice big worry stone. So if you like what you see, please like, comment, and come back on Tuesday to see it completely finished. And I'll leave you with the pictures. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.